Everybody, this is Perch. This video may kind of go in a weird direction. It's not as much related to comics, so certainly we're going to be talking about comics in it, comics as a backdrop, but it's probably more about the world in general. And there's a very high possibility I give up in this video. I, I do these videos this way, particularly when I'm driving, walking, someplace away from, my desk or someplace where I'm on the move. There is no script. I know a lot of people who do videos, they kind of write out bullet points and they work through it. And I think that's great. I appreciate and I think the preparation there is awesome. I'm not doing any of that. This is all kind of off the cuff talking. And sometimes that works out, sometimes it doesn't. It's a stream of consciousness thing. I like to think of it very much like it is like how radio shows went for a while. And there's still talk radio out there. But in a lot of cases, the people who did it for any length of time, they didn't come in with a set agenda. They came in with a couple things in their mind they want to talk about. They talked about it. They tried to be storytellers. That's what I try and do. I try and kind of wander between, telling stories, presenting things in a way so people can understand them, and explaining some things that are dense. That when I was certainly going through my life, I wish more people had explained to me. A lot of things with the comic industry, you had to learn it through, blood. In a lot of cases, you didn't learn it because somebody was there to help you out. I believe one of the problems in comics, I mentioned this before, is a lack of mentorship. It's a lack of somebody going, hey, I'm not trying to get anything out of you, but here's some advice. Here's something I made a mistake doing. I hope you don't have to make that same mistake. That's kind of what I'm about here. One thing I've learned never to do is go back and listen to the videos. I was listening to the interview with Sean Murphy, and Jesus, I hate my own voice. I hate it immensely. I can't stand it. And what's weird is I start to notice in these videos, I'm talking differently than how I do in real life. I have different emphasis in things. Maybe it's just talking to myself. There's a different way that it comes across that it's very unnatural to me. It drives me crazy. Right now in comics, there is this idea of how do we create opportunities for people? How do we create ways for, individuals who, mainly when they say create opportunities for people, they mean kind of non-white. It comes into a gender racial thing very quickly for people. And that therein, I think, lies a bit of the trap from my perspective, because I think I can go along with a lot of this logic. When I hear people say we need to create more opportunities so people can, make comics, that people have an easier road, an easier way to get their stories out there, the people who found it hard to penetrate kind of this at times very dense system that is comics, find better ways for them to accomplish what they want to do. I'm on board with that. That sounds great. I actually think that is something that is, I hate this, we need to have a conversation, but that is a conversation that has been needed to happen in comics for a very long time. We do need more opportunities for people. We do need to crack this way that comics likes to make itself impenetrable to people who have good ideas. If you have some talent, you have a good idea, I think you should have a very straightforward path to get into comics. And I think if you do not, we need to make those paths. We need to figure out what's jamming up the works, what's causing the friction. I use the word friction a lot because in a number of the different places that I consult and I do work in, friction is a big word when you're trying to figure out how to accomplish a goal, complete a project, get things from point A to point B, whatever it is. Friction are the things that get introduced either, organically, naturally, or by intent. And those are the things that, that slow down the project or delay it or cancel it. You get enough friction in the mix, people don't even begin, or they hit a wall, they don't know how to get past it, and it's just over. That happens all the time. This is something, obviously, to figure out how to avoid. But it's the way that the comic industry, the comic business, has chosen to go about solving these things that brings in the challenge for me. They've chosen to solve it in a very surgical way, again, focused on race and gender in many cases, that doesn't actually solve the problem. And the litmus test for me, and I'm thinking about these things a lot because I'm a I'm a parent. I'm a father of two girls. I want them to do well. As I mentioned before, the two girls have completely different personalities in terms of what they're interested in. And so, therefore, there is not one playbook, and by any parent will tell you this, there's not one playbook for how it's going to work. I've got to develop strategies that are going to fit the kids and help them, do the most that they can do. I want them to be everything. Every parent wants that. You want the best for your children. Good friends want that for their friends. They want the people they care about to succeed and do well, and that becomes a driving force for you. Um, when people say, we need to give this person more. I've come to hate that word. We need to do more for this person because with more comes less. If you're going to give somebody more, you're going to give somebody else less. And I don't think that should be the goal. I think fairness is an absolutely legitimate, good, reasonable goal. How do we make it that everybody has the same opportunities? How do we make it so that if you are, that this person has just as much of an opportunity to put this book out as the next? How do we achieve fairness, not more? I've become, as I mentioned, like I said, to hate that word. I've become very suspicious of people who demand more. We need more. We need more representation. We need more opportunity. Why not fair? Why not we need fair opportunity? Why not we need equal opportunity? Growing up, the idea of equal opportunity was a big deal. The idea that all humans are created equal, all people are created equal. That's a noble goal. That's a goal I can sign off on. That's one that I think is reasonable for people. I think it's been polluted a lot. I think that a lot of people have inserted little, like in a governmental sense, little writers, little agendas to that word around equal, to where it's really not equal that we're going for anymore. It's more. It's how do we create opportunities for some by taking opportunities away from others? And I will tell you, there is not a strategy out there where you can create equality through, taking something away. Nobody will wind up going for that. It won't stick and it won't last because people have this natural predisposition to fight against what they perceive as inequality. Even if they're benefiting from it, they're uncomfortable by it. And that doesn't mean that some people don't, absolutely. But you have to, staring it in the face, you can't just simply say, I benefit from this and I'm glad for it. I mean, the second you start to really absorb these things, it breaks down. I'm not saying that that all people are by their, by good-hearted nature, their intent, their natural state is to be good, decent people. That's not true. There are absolutely people who are rotten people. And there are absolutely people who take advantage of situations. But you can't create a mass system for everyone around taking something away from someone and giving it to someone else. It doesn't work. I know a lot of people will come in to talk about, communism, socialism, and other things with these various political ideas, but not to overcomplicate it. In comics, we have this structure that I think is absolutely holding us back, because what we say is we need to create more opportunities. We need to look at it. Every time I see one of these tweets that says something like, "I am only looking for black and brown artists," it's a terrible statement. Even if that is something you want to do, it's the wrong way to go about doing it. I think it's absolutely fair and absolutely right to say, I want to make sure that in my decision-making process, when I'm looking for somebody to come on and work with me, I want to have a good relationship with this person. And I want to make sure that I am giving opportunities truthfully to everyone. I think that's reasonable to say, do I have a blind spot here? Am I hiring, the same old white people? And because but I don't even necessarily realize that I'm doing that. I think it's always good to question ourselves and always good to make sure that we're being fair and equal and that we're trying to accomplish those goals. But I think creating a imbalance to solve another imbalance, it doesn't work. It never lasts. It's never sustainable. it never creates actual change. All it does is keep moving the goalposts around. It's much harder to do the right thing. This is one of those pieces that I don't know if it's generational. I don't know if this is just how the world has evolved. But once we did recognize that, we even taught that in schools, that doing the right thing is harder, that trying to create a better system takes real work. It doesn't just come overnight. You do not just get wish fulfillment of walking in and giving a short speech and automatically everything is going to be better. There's blood, there's sweat, there's tears to get anything wonderful accomplished. Nothing comes for free. These are all kind of old sayings that are cliches, but they're truthful. They're real. The second you start chipping away at that, of saying, well, things that are, hard work, it shouldn't be hard work. It shouldn't is irrelevant. It is. We have to create fair systems. In comics, we absolutely need to create easier ways for people to get in, make comics, produce comics. We need to remove barriers. We need to remove a lot of these stumbling blocks, this friction that keep people from being able to accomplish things. The one thing that should be involved in that, though, and it is the hard work, is talent. You absolutely should have to do the research to think about your story, to put the time in to hone your craft as an artist or as a writer. You absolutely should do that hard work. What you should not do is have to worry that because of your race or your gender or the fact that you have or have not gotten the right quote unquote friends in the right places, that holds you back. You should not feel like no matter how hard you work to become better, to come up with a good story, to get really skilled as an artist, you should not feel that even if you work really hard, you're still going to be blocked. You're still going to be unable to do it out of situations beyond your control. That's the stuff that needs to be focused on. That's the stuff that will make comics better if we can eliminate stuff like that. It'll be better if comics are a nice hobby, a nice business where people can come in and make money and have a good living. That's what we should be shooting for. What we should not be shooting for is some kind of retroactive, well, because we did it wrong before, we're going to do it wrong in a new way going forward. That's insanity. All that does is ensure that we keep doing it wrong. If not in one way, then in another. I don't believe in replacing one broken system with another broken system, but right now in a lot of businesses, and certainly in comics as well, people seem hell-bent to do it. There's this strange feeling of that people want karma when it comes to this stuff, that, well, because it was very bad, we have to have it be equally bad for a period of time in order to balance out the scales. Here's the thing. You never balance out the scales. People live and die. We're not all living this exact same life. We're not all living the same timeline. This is not a giant video game where when we turn it off, everybody turns off at once. Life goes on. And we should be working to create opportunity for everyone in this timeline, not some. We should be working to remove the barriers, the little mean clubs that exist around that keep people out. We should remove the gatekeepers. We should have gatekeeping for quality, but not for just surface traits, not for genetic traits, not for race, not for these. Everybody should have an opportunity. That's worth fighting for. Again, I said this could be a weird video, not so much about comics. This is my perspective. I want to help give everyone equal and fair chances. I don't want to create a system where we say we got to give someone more. Because whenever you say you got to give somebody more, you're also saying I'm going to give somebody else less. That's not for a person to decide. The world will decide that. People who go out and they study and they work hard and they push, they will get more through their own hard work and effort. That's not the system to control. That's people. Again, anyone could get in here and we could argue semantics with words saying, well, the system means this and not this. I've tried to explain it a couple different ways, so hopefully everybody gets my point. No, I am not advocating for communism where everybody gets exactly the same and that's some kind of equal fair system. No. What I'm saying is you shouldn't wander into the mix and say, hey, we've got to hire this type of writer. We've got to hire this type of artist. And we're doing that because it was unfair for many years. And now we have to give this group more. Equality should mean equality. Equality shouldn't mean a power system, power game. Obviously, to me, merit, hard work, those are the big differentiators. And when you can truly put something out, truly create the opportunities where hard work and merit are the deciding factors, then I think you've got a pretty good system. Again, probably not perfect, but certainly better than some of the things I've seen proposed lately. Anyway, there you go. Kind of an odd little video, odd little topic. Interested to hear your thoughts on all this. Thanks for listening.